Okay, we're going to go over some setup stuff for the laser in order to get it ready to do a job. The first thing is turning on the laser. There's 3 steps to turning on this laser. Number 1, need to make sure that we have the exhaust turned on. It is just a switch, like a dimmer switch. I'm just going to grab it and turn it right to the on position. Second, in the back of the machine, on the side, right back in here, there is an on switch. I'm going to turn that on. Third, there's this yellow hose coming out of the wall, and it goes up to our machine, and there's this little valve. I want to turn that on until I can hear it hissing inside of the machine with the cover closed. So I've just turned on the laser and it's finding itself in its home position. After I have the laser turned on and I'm ready to load my material, I need to determine what kind of a process I'm going to do. If it's a cutting process, I need to have this table in. It's got all these little spikes, and what that does, it allows the laser to shoot through and not hit any hard surface beneath. If I'm doing an engraving process, I can take this table out and I can just use the flat surface that's underneath the table. So let's set it up as though we were going to do a cut first. So I'm going to put that cutting table back in. Okay, so the cutting table is back in. I'm going to grab some material. It's just a piece of cardstock. And I'm going to put it in so that it's nice and tight right up in the corner. Now, I need to focus my laser onto that material. Because a laser beam is just a very focused beam of light that happens to be very concentrated, I need to make sure that that beam of light is properly focused. So there's a tool. We leave it back in the tray. It's this little blue rod. It has a shoulder on one end. It slides through. There's a hole right there on my laser. I just drop it in. And what I'm waiting for when I put this in, I'm going to come over to the control panel, which is right here on the side, and I want to press the up arrow. Do not hit the autofocus. The autofocus is broken on this machine. If you do happen to hit it, you'd want to immediately hit either the up or down arrows to make it stop. If you leave it going, it will bring the table of the machine up until it crashes right here into the laser head. So don't use that feature. So I'm going to press the up arrow and I'm going to watch, and I want to go until my material just touches. So I'm waiting for that little rod to move. It just moved just a little bit, so now I know I'm in focus. I can take that out, put it right in the back where it belongs, and I would now be ready to close the top and send my first cut file. So in order to get it up, normally it's going to appear right here. It should have the name of your file, and then it's going to have a number. If my file does not appear, I would hit next file until my file comes up. Then I would press start, and that would start the cycle. So that's setting it up to do a burning or cutting feature. Next, we want to set this up to do an engrave. So I'm going to take that table out. So I'm going to pull this table out set it down off to the side. Now I'm going to grab a piece of material. I'm just going to use one of these wood blocks like we would use for our nameplate. I'm going to make sure it's up all the way into this corner again. And I need to refocus because I've changed the height from the bottom of the laser to the top of my material. So I'm going to grab that focusing tool again, and notice it's sticking up too high out of the machine. So I'm going to bring the table down until it's not touching anymore. And now it moved, so I'm in focus. Put the tool back where it belongs, and I'd be ready to close the top, send my next file, hit next file, and start. And then it would engrave my file. When I'm all finished, I would need to shut down the machine, which is just like when we start it. There's 3 steps. I'm going to take any material out that doesn't belong. I'm going to put my cutting table back in because we don't want that sitting around. All the way back up into the corner. I'm going to push it up into that corner until it stays. I'm going to turn the power off on the back of the machine. Then I'm going to turn my air hose off underneath until it stops hissing. And last, I'm going to turn my exhaust vent off. So that is the basics of setting up the laser.